Good morning from the Flanagan homestead. We got a exciting task here today. I've framed up my structure for the bathroom, but I haven't put the siding on it. And the siding on it and the lumber is getting really expensive. The prices run back up lately. I wanted to do rough sawn lumber, board and bat, and that's expensive. Plus I need a lot more 2x4s. And so anyway, I have a neighbor that has a portable sawmill that he's willing to run that for a day for me if I'm willing to run my excavator for a day on his property. And so we're going to take down this tree right over here on the top of this stand of firs, and we're going to try to fall this tree over here across the road. So the top of it will be across my road that's up here. I'll be clearing off limbs today, and then I'm going to cut that up into sections, bring it up with my excavator, and try to get it up. So this tree is about 38 inches on the base and 100 and some feet tall. We'll figure out exactly how tall it is when we get it down. I am going to fall it to the left of how it's facing the camera. That way, in a perfect world, I'd fall it a little bit straighter up this way, but I want to keep it away from the structure for one. Plus, if I don't think I'm going to lose it, I've fallen a lot of trees. But if it's hinging this way and it happens to go the other direction, if it was going straight this way, straight that way, would put the top of it on Lewis River Road, and I certainly don't want to put the top of a tree on Lewis River Road. So if I angle it a little bit more that way, this structure here is safer, and if it hinges the other way, it's just going to lay diagonally across my property and it won't get down to the road. So there's a couple reasons to change the angle slightly. Okay, first of all, on slope property like this, which I own a lot of slope property, the alders are going to fall downhill and you can't fall them uphill. These firs, we have a chance because they grow truer. But what typically happens, and we'll check here, I have just a weight on the end of a string. I got a little bit thicker string so I could sight through it. But one of the truest things here is gravity, and it doesn't lie to you. So this string will be hanging straight down. But what probably happens is a lot of times as the tree starts to grow up, something is pushing it from uphill and it gets a slight lean downhill, and then it should grow straight up. The firs are really good about that. Because there's a lot of trees on the other side of it, on the downhill side, it's kind of shaded out, and so there's a lot more limb weight because the limbs were growing over here in the sun. So the limb weight's going to want to follow it up the hill. That's good. What little breeze we've had today has wanted to follow it up the hill. But I need to check and make sure that there's not a downward lean. On a tree of this size, if there's a downward lean, I just don't want to try to do it with wedges and try to push it up. So very simply, I'm just going to hold this up to the tree and see what we got. And it appears that it's kind of like expected. The very bottom has a very slight lean downhill, which I don't want. But as I mentioned, there's more sunlight on this side, and it seems to have, as it goes higher up, a slight lean away from the other trees and more to the open space, even though it's the uphill side. So I think between the limb load and the fact that the tree has a slight lean this way, I should be able to get a nice fall up the hill instead of having to throw it down the hill. I'll be trading in my leather hat today for a hard hat. Need a little bit more protection, just in case. So just as I thought, we do have a big mess here at the base of this tree. It's not safe to move around this tree. I'm going to clear out a bunch of these branches, get it so I can move quickly to the right and the left, up and down, and then I can fall this tree. As we get going on the cutting on this project, I have two distinct challenges. One, my chain isn't quite as sharp as I'd like it. I can't sharpen it myself because I have a carbide tip chain. It's not dull, but I'd like it to be a little bit sharper. But the other thing is, my bar is only a 30-inch bar, it clearly will not go all the way through this tree, so I'm going to have to work from both sides. Not ideal, but it's doable. I mentioned previously that the chain was not as sharp as I wanted, and I think it got overly hot and it got even more dull quickly, and I spent way too much time trying to make these cuts. I fast forwarded some of it. As you can see in the double video here, on the right I changed out to the smaller saw, but it had a sharper chain and it's throwing larger chips and not sawdust. The chain on the left is the bigger saw, but the duller chain, and it just was not throwing large chips like it's supposed to. Well, I've got a measuring tape. Let's take a walk, see how tall this thing was. I'm not gonna crawl up through there. Probably another 40 feet. I'm at 98 or just under 100 feet right here. Probably about 40 more feet up there. So about a 140 foot tall tree. I asked my wife to get me this chain for Christmas, 3/8 with a higher strength. This can hold almost 9,000 pounds, just a single chain straight up. Hooked over, it can hold even more. I needed this to put my excavator on a trailer and cinch it down and hold it on the trailer. But it proved very valuable today. Using it hauling up the log. I don't have a proper choker with me, but to take this around the log, hook it on a link, and then put a loop and hook it on the bucket of the excavator. Fantastic. Well, we're certainly not done, but it was a good start to the project. I've got the logs here cut to lengths to make lumber for the structures on my campground, and got a friend that's coming up, going to mill it for me, and then I'm going to go do a day of excavator work on his property, save a lot of money. But the most valuable part of the log, the bottom 26 feet are down there, still down the hill. I'm going to have to get that, come back, check out our video when I get that up. I'm probably going to build a road more gradual along the side of the hill so I could get in there so that this small excavator can handle that big log and the slope of the hill. But it was a good day, so thanks for joining me on the Flanagan Homestead, where Christmas trees are my business, teaching including horticulture is my job, and outdoor projects are my passion. I hope to see you again soon. Be blessed, everyone.